Mishal, Kanoo, you say that Dubai is a place where the best and brightest can grow.
Yes.
What about those immigrant workers in the squalid labour conditions which have been so much talked about by human rights organisations? Are they allowed to grow?
Ask the companies that employ them. This is not...
Oh, it's nothing to do with you? There's no regulation, there's no oversight, there's no inspection?
If I was to give an example along the same lines, I talk about the people in the FDA and the SEC. When they couldn't hold and control the companies in the States, then come talk to me. Our country
Mr. Kanoo,
is trying really hard to make sure that these things try to happen as possible. But remember, you're talking about a growth in 5 years.
They simply don't do that. 2 years ago, which was 2 years after a major Human Rights Watch report entitled Building Towers and Cheating Workers, you had Dubai's own public health authorities saying that 40% of its accommodation facilities, that's nearly 500 facilities in Dubai, violated minimum health and safety standards. 500 facilities violated minimum health and safety standards. Is that a good idea? Does that make Dubai a good idea?
Excuse me. This is a question whether you're holding the city accountable or whether you hold companies accountable. The company is accountable.
Well, governments are supposed to govern, aren't they? Governments are supposed to look after people.
The government
and if they cared a jot for people, it would be a different place.
The government sets the rules and regulations and tries to enforce them, but you cannot enforce.
You mean tries to enforce them?
No country in the face of the earth can enforce all the rules that they have.
All the rules? 500 facilities where you haven't got minimum health and safety standards. Is that something to be proud of?
No, of course not. But
so that makes Dubai a good idea, does it?
This is just one aspect, and I said
this
is an aspect that focuses
tens of thousands of
on the companies. It is not.
So the government has no responsibility whatsoever.
The government has a responsibility to set the rules and regulations and try to enforce them.
And enforce them. Not try.
No,
and enforce.
You cannot. I'm telling you, even in countries like the United States, where
governments are charged with enforcing laws. I don't know where you live, but that's normally the case in most countries.
Wherever you go, you will have a government that will try to enforce laws. They will not succeed in enforcing it all the time.
500 facilities, that's not all the time. Mishal, Kanoo, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Just a reminder to everybody, we are debating the motion that this House believes Dubai is a bad idea. I'm going to take a question from the gentleman in the second row in the purple shirt.
Hi, my name is Khalid. I'm an Iranian national, but I've been born and raised in Dubai. My question is for everyone. If Dubai is such a bad idea, then why are all the countries around it following Dubai? Thank you.
Simon Jenkins, would you like to start?
Yes, I mean, this comes back to some of the points made by the opposition to the motion. I think I repeat what I said at the very beginning. I am not interested in the politics or society of Dubai. It is not my business. I'm an outsider. I'm coming along to say something about a particular ideology, which was the ideology by which Dubai was transformed from the state of grace that two speakers at least can recall into something that has become, I think, a sort of a nightmare for the rest of the world, not for Dubai itself. The phenomenal success by which you can attract money, particularly in the climate of the 1990s and 2000s, is no surprise. Lots of places attracted vast amounts of money. Most of them reinvested it.
This place did something as well.
Dubai decided to do something. It decided to build colossal buildings. People who build colossal buildings into which there is no use as yet, nor I believe will there be a use, are going to fall on their face.
New York didn't.
New York didn't. New York had a hinterland, the American Empire. New York also had, so to speak, a vast population lined up behind it. Dubai was an idea. I mean, the reason why this motion is expressed as it is, it was an idea for growth. It was an idea for growth not based on oil resources or gas resources. It was an idea for growth based in some sense on the model of Singapore or Hong Kong. I just simply think it went far, far too fast. And when you go much too fast, you fall much faster, and that's what's happened.
Mishal, Kanoo, do you want to come in on that?
It still doesn't take away from what Dubai is. I mean, I do agree that there are some things that should not have happened the way it happened. But still, the question that's being is that you're judging the city. The whole city is being judged, at least by this panel, and by the ladies and gentlemen sitting out there, whether this is a good idea or not. I will ask you the very simple question. As an alternative, Dubai is a viable alternative to two things which are two diseases as far as I'm concerned in the Arab world: nationalism and extremism. And if I don't have Dubai, I have a problem.
Okay, I want to go back to the questioner for a moment.
My question was not answered. I asked why are all the countries such as Doha, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, why are they all following Dubai's model?
Because they're not. They're not.
What do you mean they're not? Look at all the buildings.
They are not
Look at all
trying to
buildings.
build
Look
the
at-
biggest building on
Look
earth.
at Emirates Airlines and Qatar Airways. Look at the train station which Dubai built, and then 1 month later, Qatar gives the same similar plan, just like Dubai.
Well, I mean, the lesson you get from Dubai, which is the same lesson as we get from the credit crunch, is regulate your market. Don't go completely crazy. Don't allow one man's vision to dominate the sanity of the marketplace. Make sure the market works. It doesn't become completely mad.
So are you saying the whole Gulf region is a bad idea?
Sorry?
Are you saying the whole Gulf region is a bad idea?
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Okay, Nasser Al-Ghaith.
Dubai is different.
Talking about visionary people, history has been made by visionary people. History has been made by people who their counterparts think they're fools, and 50 years later, they've been celebrated as...
Well, not always. Sometimes they remain fools,
Not always. But to say that the Dubai idea is bad is to say that free market and is with its invisible hands is a bad idea. To say capitalism with this celebrated self-correcting mechanism is a bad idea. It means that it's saying that globalization, market integration is a bad idea. That's what it means, because Dubai is presented that. Not is in the best picture. I'm not claiming that Dubai is presented that in the best picture, but it's the best possible picture, especially in the Middle East. People now have hope in the Middle East. Instead of looking west or looking east to find hope, to find light in economic development and prosperity, they need to look within the Middle East, and that's Dubai.
All right, I'm going to take a question from the lady in the front row, please.
My name is Shweta, I'm Indian. Mr. Simon Jenkins, it has been announced today that Nakheel is going to pay its $4.1 billion sukuk obligations that was due today in the next 14 days with the support of the $10 billion bailout from Abu Dhabi. Now, doesn't that seem like a stepping stone to make everything right? Dubai has excellent retail banking system. It has an excellent transportation system. It has excellent education, excellent culture, and aren't your arguments a very, very loose ground to say that the concept of the entire city is a bad idea?
Okay, I'm going to let Sharla Musabih have a go at that one.
Yes, okay. Let's just speak to that. Let's speak to Dubai has an excellent education system. Let's just ask, is Dubai better off now than it was in previous years? Is Dubai actually respecting the rights of the national people? I moved there as a very young girl. I visited there in 1980 and I moved there in 1984. As I lived there for so many years, I watched as these compounds popped up and the development went up everywhere. And in the expatriate neighborhoods, there was all kinds of beautiful international schools with playgrounds and speed bumps so that their children wouldn't get killed. However, in the national neighborhoods, there was no speed bumps. In fact, there was no streets. We had to live with sandy roads while we were building our houses for years and years.
You want to go back to that?
And not only that, I would like to go back. Not only that, the government schools, shabby old schools with cracked walls, unit air conditioning that sometimes worked, sometimes didn't work, overcrowded classrooms. The teachers, God bless their souls, would have to spend from their own pocket because they wanted to make the classrooms nice.
Let me hear from the question. How do you like this call to the good old days?
I'm sorry, but when you're talking about the government schools, it's not like it's exclusive only to Dubai. I'm sorry, no. But it's the case. That's the case. No, it's not.
No, excuse me. Can you let the questioner just come back?
It's not exclusive only to Dubai. There are a lot of private schools also in Dubai, excellent schools, a lot of universities. I'm sorry, but
what comes first? I'm a UAE national. My children have a right to an education as UAE nationals. So
I understand that
you're
you do
an expatriate. You get lots of money in your package. I have 6 children. I'm supposed to pay out of my pocket. It doesn't come in my package. I'm a UAE national.